Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the dinner table. I'm your host, as always, Nick, joined by my father, Mike.
Hello, everyone.
And today we are finishing James Bond. Finally, the movies that I know well. Like, really well. Love these movies. It is Daniel Craig, James Bond today. He took over the role after a 4-year, I think, hiatus. 4 or 5 years. Yeah, 4 years.
Let's see. It was 2002 to 2006. Yeah, four years.
Yeah. Funny story. You know who Henry Cavill is? He played Superman, The Witcher. He's played this huge, jacked guy, British Englishman. He was set to do he wanted to do the role, and they were all interested in him, but they told him he was too young. And now that they're looking for a Bond, he's like, hey, I can still do it. And now they're telling him he's too old. Yeah. Poor guy can't win, but he's a really good actor and would have been also an awesome Bond. But we got Daniel Craig, who is an awesome James Bond.
I think so, too.
That comes in, his first movie was the 2006 Casino Royale, which is almost 20 years old now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
God,
no, I didn't really think about that, but yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to go over the synopsis?
Yeah, go
here?
for it.
Okay, Casino Royale, James Bond, Daniel Craig goes for his first mission as a 000. Sharif, yeah, I can never say that. Mads Mikkelsen.
Great actor.
Oh, man, he's fantastic in this movie. He's a banker to the world's terrorists. He's participating in a poker tournament in Montenegro where he must win back his money in order to stay safe amongst the terrorist market. These terrorists want to kill him because he owes them money, of course. The boss of MI6, Dame Judi Dench, who's an awesome actress, sends Bond along with Vesper Lynd, Eva Green, played by Eva Green, to attend the game and prevent Lashif, I know I'm saying it wrong, from winning. Lashif, yeah. Bond, using the help of Felix Leiter, played by Jeffrey Wright, and Renee Mathis, I can't even pronounce that name, so I'm not going to bother, and having Vesper pose as his partner, enters the most important poker game in his already dangerous career. But if Bond defeats Lashif, will he and Vesper Lynd remain safe? You have to watch the movie to find out.
Now, there's many things I can say about this movie. A, best Bond opening ever, when he makes his first kill in the bathroom. And then,
yeah.
You know, the second one, Bond is always, boom, he shoots him. Much easier? I know, thank you. And just gets up and leaves. I was like, that's freaking badass.
Oh, yeah. The Daniel Craig, it's fantastic.
Yes.
This is a really good movie. I like this movie a lot.
This is not just like one of my favorite Bond movies. It is one of my favorite movies, period.
Yeah.
And there's another one in here that is up there for me, too.
Yeah, me too.
And secondly, Eva Green, to me, personally, this is a Nick thing, is it for Bond girls for me. Always has been.
Yeah.
I saw a movie she did years ago. I was like, good God. She's from Paris. She's French, which explains things. I don't know. French has all the hot brunettes. So she is gorgeous. And a very good actress, too. Very talented person. And Mads Mikkelsen.
No, he's
that
great.
Cast. I mean, the guy who plays Felix.
It's really, the guy who plays Felix is really good.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of other movies.
This movie's really good. I like that I like the way Daniel Craig plays Bond, first of all. I think he plays it the way it always should have been played. I mean, he's a badass.
He's a brutal.
Licensed killer. He's brutal.
Yeah.
But he shows the emotional and human side of that job.
Yeah.
Very well in all of these movies.
Oh, three-dimensional.
That's what I like about these movies a lot. You see how it's a tough life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the other Bond movies to me was always a little campy.
Yeah.
A little cliche.
They removed a lot of camp. There's still some, but
I mean, you see the emotional human side of being a trained killer. No, I mean, and M was only in the first three of these movies, right? And then she couldn't do anymore because she was losing her eyesight. She couldn't act anymore.
Yeah, but she is.
But she's fantastic in this movie and one coming later, I think.
And the writing improved so much from Die Another Day to Casino Royale that it is like a new Bond. They finally did what they wanted to do with Timothy Dalton, with a more grounded Bond.
Mm-hmm.
They finally just said, okay, we're done with Pierce. Let's leave that Bond behind. We're done with Roger Moore 2.0.
Yeah.
Let's make
I think,
a bad human being.
You know, the gadgets, there's gadgets, but there's not over-the-top stupid gadgets. It's more technologically driven.
Mm-hmm.
And Q...
There is no Q in this one.
Yeah, that's right, there isn't.
Yeah, it's the next one he is introduced.
Yeah.
And even then, it's a much more grounded...
Yeah.
You know, he has the watch that does things, but it's just, I don't know. Casino Royale set... Actually, no, I don't think Q is in Intel Skyfall. He's not in Quantum of Solace.
He's not?
No.
I don't remember.
But Casino Royale is just
this is a great movie. I enjoyed it.
Fantastic.
Even the card game, which goes on a little long, is fantastic.
It's
really good. You know, of course, Bond almost dies, but it's not exactly. He actually gets saved in this one instead of doing the gadget thing and saving himself. You know, I mean, it's a really good movie. I like this movie a lot.
And I love how they have Vespa, Eva Green's character, be this. She's just as sassy and sarcastic and as brutal as Bond is. You know, she
really at the beginning she really doesn't like it very much.
No,
you know,
she's
and then they kind of get to.
She's equals, and they're equals in this, and I like that. And that's a nice. I'm tired of. I don't always like. I guess maybe because I'm a little bit older. I'm a more of a different era human being. Yeah. I don't really always like the ditzy blonde Bond girl. It just bothers me. And
it's a different time.
Yeah, And she is very modern, very. Yeah. It's hard to go back sometimes. When we watch some of these older Bonds, for me, it is harder for me to go back. But
this is a good movie. I have it ranked as number 2, actually.
Yeah.
In the five of these Daniel Craig movies.
Yes, it's my number 2 as well.
And I enjoy watching this movie. I'll just pop it in and sit down and a couple hours of really good Bond.
Oh yeah,
it's really good.
It's
highly recommend this. Yeah.
But then after that, they had a couple of years to make the next one, and it is a direct sequel. It picks up right where this one ends, where Casino Royale
one
ends.
thing about Casino Royale, just one last little thing that popped into my head, speaking of direct sequel. My name is Bond, James Bond.
Yeah.
He doesn't say that until the very last scene when he confronts Mr. White there at his home. And who are you?
I'm Bond.
My name is Bond. James Bond.
Yeah.
So the whole movie, he never says that.
And also, awesome. Would you like that shaken or stirred? I don't care. You know, he just didn't. Yeah, they just threw all of that out of there.
Yeah, I like that he saves it for the very end. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah,
if you're a Bond fan, you'll get it. You'll get why that was so.
Because he's so. Every time he introduces himself to anybody, this is my mother. What's your name? My name is Bond. James Bond. You know.
Yeah, but he saves it for the end, and Daniel Craig's just a good actor anyway.
Oh, he's great.
You know, Knives Out, good movie.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. In 2008, they released Quantum of Solace. It's a direct sequel to Casino Royale, and if you don't really understand that going in, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I saw this movie. I'll read the synopsis here. Is there solace and revenge? James Bond and M sniff a shadowy international network of power and corruption reaping billions. As Bond pursues the agents of an assassination attempt on M, all roads lead to Dominic Green, a world-renowned developer of green technology. Green is a nasty piece of work is intent on securing a barren area of Bolivia in exchange for helping a strong man stage a coup there. The CIA looks the other way, and only Bond, with the help of a retired spy and a mysterious beauty, stands in Green's way. M wonders if she can trust Bond or if vengeance possesses him. Can anyone drawn to Bond live to tell the tale? So, Quantum of Solace. I didn't care for this movie.
See, I've watched it since, and I do like it.
Yeah, I've only watched it the one time. I should probably watch it again, and maybe I'll get it this time. I don't know that I understood what the hell was going on.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was kind of the same way. But when I was going through when the last one came out, No Time to Die came out, I went, I'm going to go bring myself back up. And so I own all of these on Apple. You go on the Apple thing, and they're right there. So I started Casino Royale. And then immediately, I was home that night, immediately went right to this one. Like, watching them back to back makes a hell of a lot more sense what's going on. And I ended up liking it a heck of a lot more than I did
just to see if I was the only person that didn't like this movie. I went on IMDb and looked at people, customer reviews, whatever you want to call them. And most people really like this movie, so I must have missed something. Again, you got, like we talked about. I said you just got to remember that it is a direct sequel to what happened to the first movie, and if you go a couple of years without seeing them together, you're going to get confused if that's the one you pop in. Wait, what's going on? But so I might have to go back and revisit this.
But I found it very good. They're out in the desert, and it's a lot. This one is a little bit more Bond. It's not as like Casino Royale was very much grounded. This one's a little bit less grounded, but it still has enough of the Daniel Craig type Bond to where you can this works together. And it was a good movie. I enjoyed it, but again, it took me twice. I had to see it twice. So, and I highly, if you ever want to sit down and watch Casino Royale, get yourself back up on that one, and then maybe like a week or so later, watch the next one, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I get this.
Yeah, I had it ranked as number 4.
I do too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's number 4 on mine, simply because number 3 is, I can't put that any lower. And,
same here.
But I can't put that one above Casino Royale either. So it's like it's a perfect number 3. So
actually, 4 of these movies for me are.
Pretty much.
They're all good.
Yeah.
Like Quantum of Solace is my least favorite of the first 4 that Daniel Craig did, I guess. Yeah. So that's why it's number 4. And
then one of the top 10 movies ever made, I will say this again, top 10 Nick favorite movies ever made is Skyfall. That is 2012. They took a couple years off. Yeah. I love this movie.
Yeah, they took time between all of these movies, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. This movie is fantastic. I went to the theater to see it with your mom. Your mom and I went to the theater to see it. We both walked out of there saying, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen, period. Yeah. And certainly, I will rank this as the number 1 James Bond movie that I've ever seen.
Hands down. Yeah,
it's James Bond's latest assignment goes gravely wrong, and agents around the world are exposed. MI6 is attacked, forcing him to relocate the agency. These events cause her authority and position to be challenged by Gareth Mallory, the new chairman of the Intelligence and Securities Committee. With MI6 now compromised from both inside and out, M is left with only one ally she can trust, Bond. 007 takes to the shadows, aided only by field agent Miss Eve Moneypenny, following a trail to a mysterious enemy whose lethal and hidden motives have yet to reveal themselves.
Yep.
Good movie.
This is the one where you get Moneypenny?
Yep.
And this is the one where you also get Q for the first time.
Yeah, and Q is totally different.
Oh, yeah. He's a young kid.
Q in the old movies. He's a young kid. He works out in the field more than, he's out there kind of shadowing Bond and helping him with stuff, and
he's, like Q from the one, he is super brilliant, but he's not goofy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a little goofy, but he's
brilliant goofy.
Yeah.
He's like,
like Bond always jokes at him, you still have pimples, and he's a kid. I mean, he's a young kid compared to Bond, but he is, he's great. There's not a single bad actor in this movie.
Yeah, this movie's so good.
I enjoy it a lot. And then the guy, because it's a double bad guy, is this one? No, that's, oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. No, it's the next one is the double bad guy. Yeah, because there's 2 bad guys and they're both fantastic in that next one. But it took me a minute to get it all back together. Sorry, almost screwed that up. But the bad guy in this one, I cannot remember his name. Fantastic actor himself. Creepy.
Oh yeah. He's brilliant, creepy.
He's perfect.
Yeah.
The story's
great.
Perfect. You learn about the thing you always hear about Bond's childhood. You always hear about Bond's how things happen. You actually go to his home in Skyfall. That's hence the name of the movie.
Yeah.
And you learn about his home, and you learn about his parents, what happened, and then that all connects it to the next movie. But we'll get there, and how it all just runs so smoothly, and it's man, I just love this movie.
I do too.
really
Yeah,
do.
this is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah.
And,
It's I can again. You can throw that on anytime.
Anytime.
I'm
yeah.
good. I'm good.
What did we watch today? Skyfall.
Skyfall's good. Yeah.
Yeah, this is of course number one of all these, and it's probably my number one.
It
Bond
is
movie.
hands down mine.
You know,
Number 2 would be Skyfall, or would be Casino Royale.
yeah.
To all
I
time.
I didn't rank these. I didn't want to
didn't
go
either.
there.
Because it would take. I haven't seen enough of. It's been a while since I've seen a lot of them. It would be hard.
And they're different eras.
Yeah.
They're so different. Especially these movies.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig plays Bond. I think the way
should always
been. He is really good. So I gave away something here that we're going to do later.
Oh yeah, same here. Yeah, I did too. It's okay. I've been making it clear who it is the whole time. But it is. It's just. I mean, I can't say enough about this movie.
Yeah, me either. This is so good.
From an acting standpoint.
Moneypenny. I didn't write down the actresses' names for this one.
Naomi Watts.
I think so. She's fantastic.
Yeah, she is.
She's really good.
A movie she was in that I love a lot is, and it took me forever to realize that it's her. It was called Moonlight, where she plays she's a mom to the main character in the beginning, actually through the whole movie. Because you're following a kid as he's growing up, and she's a crackhead. And I had no idea. And you would think she's from frickin' the ghettos of Miami. I mean, she plays. Oh my! You're talking about. I had no idea that, and it hit me when I'm like, man, she looks familiar. I looked it up. Holy shit, that's Moneypenny. But she's such a great.
This is the one where she shaves Bond, right? With a straight razor. Yeah. Straight razor sales went up like 20% after that movie. Yeah. After that scene. If you haven't seen it, if you don't care about James Bond, just watch that scene.
That's great scene.
So good. It's like, I need to get one of those razors. And then I'd get hurt.
Yeah, she come take care of that anytime.
Yeah,
she's amazing. And if they really played hard on that tension between them, but they didn't go there. Like, they never go there. And they always kind of flirt in the old ones. This one, they played it. And you thought, oh, they're going to go there. No, nope. Pulled right back, There's really no Bond girl in this one.
No, I don't think there is.
There isn't. No. There's absolutely none.
And M has a big role in this.
Oh, M's, and
this, I think, was Judi Dench's last.
Yes. Unfortunately, yes.
I think.
That's where he gets the bulldog statue. And spoilers.
Yeah.
Sorry, we are going to spoil it. I probably should have said that at the beginning. I do apologize. So if you don't want to know that, stop here,
No, it's, we can move on anyway.
I can put spoilers. I'll put spoilers in the title. I'll make a note of that. I don't have a pen, but I'll make a note of that. But yeah, she unfortunately is killed in the end. Yeah, which is so sad.
Yeah, she played that role just beautifully. Every movie she was in.
Yeah, even and she's been in since Pierce Brosnan, and she's always been the best thing about those movies.
Yeah,
going through all of his 4. And then Daniel Craig's 5, or the 3 with Craig, were just fantastic.
Yeah, she lost her eyesight, or was losing her eyesight, and she couldn't read scripts anymore.
Yeah.
So she had to bow out of the last. Yeah.
They gave her a very good send-off, I thought.
Yeah.
As well done.
This is a good movie.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie. Highly, highly, highly recommend.
Now, all of that sets up, his parents die in a climbing accident. Avalanche or something like that, or his adopted parents, Bond's adopted parents. That's how he ended up in the MI6 program and all that, going, in the military, and he was an orphan. So, and all that is set up, and you learn in the Spectre, which is 2015, 3 years later, also a very good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is. Not everybody likes this one. I don't know why. John tries to argue with me that it's not as good. And I'm like, you're freaking crazy. Yeah. Compared to Skyfall, okay, that's comparing Empire Strikes Back to The Return of the Jedi. I mean, Empire Strikes Back is one of the 5 best movies ever made. There's no way Return of the Jedi is going to come close. It's never going to touch that. It's kind of the same way with Skyfall and Spectre. But I think Spectre is very good.
I do too.
And Christopher Waltz is the bad guy.
Oh, yeah,
I'll probably
he's great.
give away that in your synopsis. Yeah. He's probably the greatest villain actor I think ever.
Yeah, let me read the synopsis.
Yeah, go for it.
Spectre, a cryptic message from the past sends James Bond on a rogue mission to Mexico City. The opening in Mexico City in this movie is fantastic, by the way. And eventually Rome. Bond infiltrates a secret meeting and uncovers the existence of a sinister organization known as Spectre. Meanwhile, back in London, Max Denby, the new head of the Center of National Security, questions Bond's actions and challenges the relevance of MI6, led by
Voldemort.
Yeah, led by M. Bond. What does that say? That covertly enlists Miss Eve Moneypenny and Q to help him seek out Dr. Madeline Swan, who may help untangle the web of Spectre. As Bond ventures towards the heart of Spectre, he learns a chilling connection between him and the enemy he seeks.
Mm-hmm. And it's important too. Swan, the woman in it, is the daughter to Mr. White.
Yeah.
So that all comes back around to Casino Royale. So all of these movies, you don't just grab one and go, I know what's going on. You
can.
You can, but to get it the full breadth of the first four movies, you have to kind of watch them all. and that's a lot because they're 2 hour and 35-minute movies, every one of them.
Yeah, they are. And I don't usually like long movies, but I like Spectre. I think this is a great movie.
No, it is.
Yeah,
and just Walt's performance alone. Walls, as they say.
Yeah, he is just so good at playing the villain.
Glorious Bastards.
Oh yeah,
he's so good.
He's so good, and great movie.
It's also, he always reminds me of there's another guy who always plays villains, Hugo Weaving.
Mm-hmm.
He's Mr. Smith in The Matrix. He's always the bad guy, and he's Red Skull in the Captain America movie. And he's another one, he's like this guy. As soon as he's on screen, you're like, oh, this is gonna be good. He's great. And same with Walls. Walls he's just good.
He's a great villain.
Yeah.
And in Glorious Bastards, he plays a Nazi there. That is so good.
Oh, and his performance in Django Unchained, which I didn't really like that movie all that much, but he's great.
Yeah.
Actually, I liked it up to when he dies. It's like, oh, well, damn. Good movie.
The action in this one is really good. The like I said, the opening in Mexico City, I think, is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And the story's really good.
It lines up with his past, and it starts to connect all the dots between the first three movies.
Mm-hmm.
You start seeing that connection happen, and to me, this one rounded out Daniel Craig. This should have been it. Yeah,
I agree. 100%.
It is really good, and the acting, again, some of the best actors in the world played all of these parts, and they're excellent. I just, again, even Batista was awesome in it.
I put this one at number 3.
It was number 3 for me.
Yeah, so I have Skyfall as number 1, Casino Royale 2, Inspector 3. Although Casino Royale and Inspector, I could put them as number 2 tie. Because they're both pretty darn good.
2A, 2B, kind of
2B, and Quantum of Solace for me, number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I had.
Yeah, that's mine. I saw the last Craig movie, and to me, the last Craig movie will be Spectre. No Time to Die was not.
Yeah,
I did not find it very good.
The last Bond movie, actually, this has been the last one for.
Yeah, I think they're getting ready to do some reboots and stuff.
So it's 3 years now. But No Time to Die, Bond has left active service and enjoying a tranquil life in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
His peace is short-lived when his old friend Felix Leiter from the CIA turns up asking for help. The mission to rescue a kidnapped scientist turns out to be far more treacherous than expected, leading Bond into a trail of mysterious villain armed with a dangerous new technology. I gotta confess, I've never seen this movie. I have on good authority not to watch it.
Matthew too. Matthew didn't like it at all. And what was funny is Matt and Jam were like, "Well, we haven't really, we liked Casino Royale," and I think I said, "Look, we'll watch the other ones," and we all we all agreed these are fantastic movies. And then we all were all excited. All the three of us went to the Roadhouse Theater in Phoenix. Shout out, love that place. It's like a dinner theater. Mm-hmm. Sorry, off topic, but sat there, and about halfway through it, every one of us wanted to go play video games because it was just. It should have ended. The villain is a good actor. He's a Oscar award-winning actor. He played Freddie Mercury in the.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of his name. Malik is his last name.
I think so. Yeah. I think.
And he's a great actor, but he was weak as a villain.
Mm-hmm.
He came off weak, and there was no purpose for him. Spectre sets up. Waltz's character, or Blumfeld, I can never say Blumfeld. Blofeld. He set up his whole life. He's the one who's been menacing Bond his whole life. They set that up. And then in this one, they said, no, it wasn't him. It was actually this guy. And it's like, this is freaking bullshit. No, it's not. And he's not nearly as menacing as Blofeld. He's just not. And he's not very good. And I didn't like him at all. I respect him as an actor, but as a villain, no, not very good.
Well, I can't really speak to this movie, and I thought, I'm going to go look at some reviews, that regular folk reviews, on IMDb, and a lot of people like it. A lot of people think it's pretty good. Not great, but good.
Okay. Yeah, that may be better. Man, maybe I'm harder on it. I don't know.
But I just saw the reviews coming out when the movie came out, and Daniel Craig really didn't want to make this movie.
No.
And he was done. He was done with the whole Bond thing. He'd been injured several times. He broke his leg one time. He had screws put in his shoulders. He injured his shoulder. He got beat up pretty bad making these movies, and he just didn't want to do another one.
Yeah.
So they backed the money truck up and dumped it in his yard, I guess. And he's like, okay.
He hasn't done anything since because he doesn't really need to. Well, he did
Knives Out. It actually came out about the same time as this one.
Yeah. Which he enjoyed doing. You could tell in that performance. Like the differences.
He was good that movie, too.
Oh, gosh, such a great movie.
But anyway, so I just never bothered to watch it.
Yeah.
I just didn't care about it. So my bad, I guess.
No, it's not. Like I said, I wish I still had the memory of Spectre being the last Daniel Craig. I do. And I try to push out the other one. And I don't know, it was just, the feel of it was wrong. You could tell Craig he gave it all, because he always does, and he was not the problem. Actually, acting in general was not the problem. It was just the story didn't really work. And then it was like a cameo movie.
Mm-hmm.
So now we know we have a bad movie, so we're going to bring in De Armas, who's from Knives Out with Craig. We're going to bring her into this, and she's going to be the sexy CIA agent, and man, she absolutely was the sexy, she's gorgeous in that movie. But you're like, okay, did we need her there? Not really, because Bond isn't going to get involved with her because Bond is pretty much married in this movie. So why did you do that? It just, there's so many things that just didn't make sense. And I think it was, wow, this movie sucks, so we're just going to put De Armas in it just to make everybody go, oh, look, she was in Knives Out with him,
Yeah.
It's not a very, it's just, and then spoilers again, they kill off Walls, Blofeld. Just kill him. Unceremoniously,
Well, he's lasted since, 1960-something,
But it's not Bond.
Now,
It's not Bond who did it.
Yeah.
It's this other guy somehow poisoned him, but the poison didn't affect Bond. It irritated me to know, like, everybody, all of us, actually Brandon was with it, all four of us there were going, no. Like this, I'm sorry. Maybe we're just being angry nerds. I don't know, but this movie sucked, and I hated it. And I never bought. I don't own it. The only Daniel Craig one I don't own.
Yeah, I had this ranked last because
it's rightfully last. It's not the worst Bond. That's place is held for always for me, Moonraker, but it's not the worst Bond.
Yeah,
and it is better than I think.
If You Do a Kill, that's another one. I care for. But.
Or. Die Another Day or A World Is Not Enough. It's better than those.
Yeah.
But it's not, to me, it's not better than Tomorrow Never Dies or any of those other, any of the other middle ground Bond movies. It's not better than any of those. So to me, it's more towards the bottom. And it's just not, I don't know, I didn't enjoy it.
Okay. Well, so that's Daniel Craig movie.
It's Daniel Craig. We are done with that. But now comes a discussion.
Let's rank the Bonds.
You want to rank the Bonds? Yeah. I'm going to go from last to first.
Okay, let's do that. Who's your last?
My last is Pierce Brosnan.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
It would have been fine. The beauty of Craig, Dalton, Moore, Connery. And I cannot speak for Lazenby. I did not put Lazenby on my list. I don't know where he was.
I didn't either.
Because I've never seen that movie. And I would like to see that movie. Maybe we just need to do that one day. But they all brought something unique to the character.
Mm-hmm.
Pierce Brosnan was just Roger Moore 2.0.
Yeah, I agree.
And he didn't bring anything new. It's not that he was bad. He just...
Like
I've seen this
we watched GoldenEye not 2-3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, or whatever, and I thought, I like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
This was good. Let's watch Tomorrow Never Dies just to refresh.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'd seen it before, and that's where I was like,
yeah,
this guy is just Roger Moore who looks different.
Yeah, actually, they kind of look similar.
Yeah.
I mean, in a weird way.
It's just... I don't know. I didn't like it at all. And back to George Lazenby, that movie's pretty good. Her Majesty's Secret Service. And I made a mistake when we were talking about it. George Lazenby's not English. He's Australian.
He's Australian.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so he wasn't an Englishman that actually played the English character. He was Australian.
Maybe that's why they didn't like him. They're like, oh, no, I'll bring him back.
Yeah, I don't know. He was okay. God, it's been so long since I saw it. But anyway,
yeah,
I didn't
left
rank him
off.
If I was going to rank him, he'd be last.
Would he? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so that's where... And the next for me, this might be the controversial one, is going to be Roger Moore.
Okay, I had Sean Connery as number 2.
No, this is from worst.
Oh, from worst. Oh, okay.
And then by saying
Roger Moore, number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a tie.
Do you?
Yeah, I think it's a tie between Timothy Dalton and Roger Moore.
I don't. I think Timothy Dalton's a little bit more of the Bond I like.
I ranked him number 3.
Did you?
Yeah,
he's number 3 on mine as well.
Yeah, Timothy Dalton, but yeah, Roger Moore was number 4. I wrote down I put a number 4 beside him.
Yeah, you did. I did. I'm just going off top of my head here, but Roger Moore, I love Roger Moore. That's the first Bond I ever got into, and I do love him. I'm not saying, and none of these guys I'm saying are bad, by the way. I'm just ranking, because there's some pretty damn good actors that are up above him. But I don't know. I got bored with Moore being the goofy, the very campy movie, and I just started. That's when I started falling out of Bond was. And then I went back to saw Gold, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is something good." And then they started getting campy again, and I'm like, "I don't want that shit."
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I have Roger Moore as number 4.
Yeah,
but it's a strong 4.
Yes,
it could be 3.
Yeah. I mean, if I never saw The Living Daylights, my number 3 would be completely different. Would be Roger Moore, and my last one would have been probably Dalton. But seeing Dalton's like, no, he reminded me of what Craig is. You could see where they wanted to go. Mm-hmm. They just said, "The hell with it, we're going there with Craig."
Yeah.
We got the big dude, because Craig's not a small person. He's a pretty big guy. And they said, "We got the big dude playing it stick. Let's go. Let's just make him a badass."
Okay, so
my number 2 is Mr. Sean Connery.
Wait a minute. We didn't... Oh, yeah, we did. Okay, I covered Timothy Dalton. He was number 3.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, Timothy Dalton, number 3.
I was surprised when we watched
it. Yeah, I was too. He was really, really good.
How good he was.
Yes.
And we still didn't get around and watch License to Kill.
But we will. We will add that. That's on our list. But I loved The Living Daylights. I really liked that movie.
I did too.
And it worked for me. Like the Daniel Craig ones worked for me. I could go back and watch that one. Mm-hmm. Where I watch Daniel Craig, it's hard to go back to watch a Sean Connery one, and where or even a Roger Moore ones. It's like they're just too drastic. You can't do Casino Royale and then go do Live and Let Die. It's just you're gonna be screwed up, and you're gonna have a different view of Bond. So, but I did Timothy Dalton. I could do that with. That's something, and
I liked it.
And you never know, if I love License to Kill, he might become my number 2. But I really like The Living Daylights a lot.
And number 2, I had Sean Connery.
Yes, same here.
And
he's the grandfather of the role.
He was always my number 1. I always thought he was the best Bond, and then Daniel Craig came along.
And he said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, he was like... I remember I got into a discussion at work one time with... actually, he was a customer of mine. And we're both Bond fans, and he said, "Well, so who's the best James Bond?" I said, "Daniel Craig." And you'd have thought I'd slapped his mother or something. I mean, he gave me a look like, "What?
Yeah,
Are you crazy?"
We're gonna be a little controversial.
It's Sean Connery. I'm like, no.
Go back and watch those
I think
movies.
Daniel Craig's a little bit better.
Yeah. Look, Sean Connery set the tone.
Yeah,
he's the guy, and I get it, and I get people always want to be the original is the best, but the original isn't always the best.
But I still like Dr. No. That was one of my favorites.
No, it is a great movie.
But anyway, yeah, I agree.
And then hands down, sorry, Daniel Craig is the best Bond.
Daniel Craig's number one.
Yeah, he plays Bond the way he should be played.
Yeah.
Three-dimensional character. Mm-hmm. He's a human being.
That's what I like about all those 4 movies. I'm not going to count No Time to Die because I never saw it, but is the human element of it. It's not the joke, laugh. He gets hurt. Even in No Time to Die, there's a human element. I mean, I don't know if I want to give it all away to you if you ever decide to watch it, but there's a pretty strong. Actually, there is a pretty strong human element in that, and it's quite crafty. The execution wasn't very good. Yeah. Maybe I just need to watch it again. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I like the way he gets hurt and then he stays hurt.
Yeah.
You always see all the other movies, Bond falls falls off a cliff or something, and the next scene he's all dusted down and perfectly,
Oh yeah.
Running around doing Bond shit, but this guy plays it a little different.
Yeah, yeah.
He
plays it like, you're not going to like this. John McClane. The Die Hard.
I don't like I just don't like him as an actor.
The original Die Hard changed the action star.
Yeah,
you get this James Bond from that.
Yeah,
and the villain too. The villains in all of his movies, except for the last one, they're crafty, super intelligent, a little creepy, a little off, just like Hans Gruber. And his portrayal of the character is a little bit more serious than John McClane, but he's kind of the everyman. This is gonna suck. Oh damn, that hurt kind of guy. He's a guy who has problems in his life. And I think that's why you just connect with him better because of that. He's not perfect. He's damaged.
Yeah, he's damaged goods.
And M very much says that in the first
movie.
Yeah, she sets it right up there.
I love it when he breaks into her house and hacks her computer.
Yeah.
It was like,
I knew I put you up too soon, and it's like, wow, she's brutal in that. And she is more brutal in those movies, too. She's more... Bond, like more direct. I know people can't see my hand signal here, but very direct with Bond in those movies. And she wasn't like that with Pierce Brosnan.
Right.
And which is fine. Mm-hmm. Again, everybody has their take on these, but Brosnan to me will always be, I guess now will be the last one. And then, you gotta go with Craig first. I don't know how you can watch those movies and not say Craig is the best.
Yeah, same here. So. And George Lazenby would be number 6. If I was going to rank it.
Yeah. So
that's it.
So you got
we did our James Bond.
We did. I got a quote. Got to have a quote.
No, I didn't do a quote.
No quote? Okay, I'll have one. Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
There you go.
Which is Goldfinger, if I remember.
Goldfinger, yes it is.
And that is one of the great lines.
Yeah, when he's got the laser beam in his crotch.
I know, we just talked about Daniel Craig, but that is... that's still one of my favorite Bonds of all time, and that's why Sean Connery is definitely
do you expect
number 2
me to
on
talk?
that.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Now that we made the internet mad by saying Daniel Craig is number 1,
I don't think so, because I think a lot of people agree with us.
Yeah, John and I had a conversation about this. My buddy John, and he said the same thing. He says, "Yeah, no, Craig's better." He goes, he plays him the way same thing we said. You should be.
Yeah.
It's like Henry Cavill when he played Superman. Everybody was all in arms about that Superman because it was violent. He's a superhuman from outer space. He's not gonna be gentle. He has the ability to destroy the world. When he punches, it's like an atomic bomb going off, And it's an excellent movie, but Cavill played that very third-dimensional, like, he's not comfortable with all of this, all the stuff going on around him. And I like that, seeing that again in Daniel Craig's Bond. And it's just, it makes you like him more.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're questioning things.
Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this. We've gotten quite a few views on it.
Yeah.
So this has been a an ordeal in a way.
Yeah, it's been a tough one.
It's been a little difficult, but especially we got into the Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan part of it.
Yeah.
For me, and I was kind of losing interest.
Yeah.
We gotta get through this because we got to get to the Daniel Craig ones because they're so good.
Yes, very important ones.
Yeah.
But it's all I got for it today, this week's. And,
Me too. I don't know what we'll do next week.
We'll have to come up with something.
We'll come up with something.
We'll think about it because it was kind of nice though. We had some good right in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was going over these and kind of bringing back the memories of that. But until next week, we'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.